We got these from the Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby. First though, let's head on out and grab some scrap wood. We're gonna mark it at 24 inches and then we're gonna cut it. The next step is we wanna make sure we get it all sanded down, get some of those paint chips off of there. Next, we're gonna run a bead of glue all the way down one of the long edges there. I'm gonna stick another scrap piece of wood because this is gonna be a little filler that I got. I'll show you what it's for later. I'm gonna grab one of these little fairy lights and we're gonna put them up and down on that scrap piece of wood and staple them in place. I'm actually gonna put 2 of them and they light up really nice. Next, I need to mark every 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna mark 24 spots. Once I get all of these marked, I'm gonna go then to my speed square and put a straight edge right down every one of those marks. Next, I'm gonna grab my level and give it a nice mark all the way down the middle. Then I need a drill bit, but I'm gonna use some tape to mark it because I don't wanna drill all the way through the wood. And then I'm gonna go to each one of those cross marks and drill a hole all the way down on all 24 of them. Once I get all of that done, I'm gonna go back to those little cutouts of the gingerbread. I'm gonna paint all the trees black, not green, but black, and I'll show you why. Once I get those painted, I'm gonna put a little bead of glue down right on the edge there above the fairy lights, and then I'm gonna take those trees, put them on there, and I'm gonna staple in place. The glue and the staples are gonna make them really strong and keep them from coming off. Once I get it stapled and I turn it up, look at this, it's gonna make a nice silhouette. Next, I took that gingerbread house, colored it up really nice, again putting some glue down and stapled in place. Then I grabbed some scrap lawan and I cut out a few jagged peaks on the edge of the lawan. Now this is 24 inches long. And then I wanted to draw a landscape in the back and it's mountains. So I'm gonna grab some white paint and I'm gonna start painting some snow caps. You can do this however you want. I want to just go with the tips and the tops there and put the white caps on there, and I'm going to let it dry. Once I do that and get all of that marked out, I'm going to switch over now to some black paint. Once I do that, I'm going to give it a little bit of some edging on there, give it a 3D effect, mark it out, and make it look really nice. Some boulders up there. The next step is I've got to put this down. So on that little filler that I did, put the glue, smear it out so that it really gets strong, and then I'm gonna lay that lawan with the mountains facing the back of the trees. I'm gonna put that on there and staple it, and once the glue dries, it's gonna be really solid. Then I'm gonna take my Santa and my cane, put a little dowel piece of wood on the back and hot glue it, and then put it in place. And I'm gonna start with number 1 because I made a wonderful little Christmas Advent calendar, and it's gonna be great for the kids as Santa works his way down to the very end. Look at that. Hey, and you remember those fairy lights? Look at that glow back there. I think it turned out awesome. It can actually make a nice night light. I hope this inspired you to take some scrap wood and some gingerbread cutouts from the Dollar Tree and make yourself an Advent calendar. Thanks so much for watching Home Talk. We'll catch you next time.
This is such a great project that begins with some easy to find Dollar Tree items. Using a hot glue gun, apply a generous amount of hot glue to the tray and stick a piece of styrofoam down onto the tray. After your styrofoam is secured to the tray, you can open up your trees. Take out your tree and fluff the branches. You want to keep one side of the tree rather flat and fluff up the branches toward the other side. Next, you're going to take the first tree and stick it into the side of the styrofoam. You can add a little bit of hot glue around where the trunk of the tree enters the styrofoam. Now, set this aside. You're going to open up the third and the fourth trees and use a pair of wire cutters to cut off each of the little branches from the trunks of those trees. When you have finished cutting all of the little branches off, you can bring your silver tray with the first 2 trees back and begin building up your centerpiece with those branches. The branches from the trees are on wires stiff enough that they will poke right down into the styrofoam securely. Arrange the branches in the styrofoam in a shape that fills in the space between the 2 trees on the end. Now is where you get to have some fun and personalize your centerpiece. I found these cute little gold bird nests with gold eggs in them and some red and gold sparkly poinsettias to use. Just cut the wires of whatever pitch you choose to add to your centerpiece and stick the wires down into the foam to secure them. I used just a little bit of this red and gold ribbon, cutting short pieces and folding it into loops. Secure each loop with a piece of floral wire and stick the wire into the foam. For the ends of the centerpiece, I cut a long piece and again wrapped a piece of floral wire around the end to secure it into the foam, and I had a ribbon tail at each end. Finish off your arrangement by adding some Dollar Tree Christmas ornaments wherever you want a little more color. There you have it, a beautiful holiday centerpiece that no one would guess began as Dollar Tree Christmas trees. I hope this has inspired you to try and make your own Dollar Tree Christmas tree centerpiece this season.
You'll want to grab a few of these houses from Dollar Tree to make this project. So the first thing we want to do is cover up that pink and white with some more muted colors. The best type of paint for this surface is going to be an oil-based paint pen or a Sharpie. The windows and doors pop out, which makes it a little bit easier for painting everything. I'm going to use a brown Sharpie to just cover the entire white of this house. Again, we're going to need a couple coats, so I'm just going to do a light coat first, and then I'm going to come back and add a little more detail and make it darker. I'm using the same process for the windows and doors. I'm going to use that paint pen and Sharpies to cover up this purple and green. Now that that first coat is dry on the roof, I can come back and fill in the detail, and this is going to look like a snow-covered roof. With everything dry, I can pop the windows and doors back in. They just snap into place, and this is starting to look like a little gingerbread house. I'm decorating these with some miniature supplies I found at Dollar Tree. So I've got these little bows and some pom-poms that I'm just gonna add over the windows and doors. You can also find little wreaths and all kinds of other pieces to make a miniature Christmas village. So now let's put it all together. I laid out a fake snow blanket and I've put some risers underneath it so I can display my houses. And I've also got these adorable little snowmen. These are also from Dollar Tree. They are just plain wood and you can paint them and decorate them however you like. I hope this inspires you to go pick up some inexpensive doll houses from Dollar Tree and make a Christmas village.
Head to Dollar Tree and pick up cutting mats. Take a hot glue gun and begin rolling the cutting mat on itself into a cone shape and hot glue to secure the shape. Trim the excess cutting mat with scissors to make sure the cone can stand up level on its own. Take the acrylic gems and begin gluing to the circumference from the bottom of the cone upward. Take fairy lights, add batteries to packs, and place into the underside of the cone. There you have it, a cheap way to create your own holiday decor on a budget. I hope this inspired you to try this classy light up Christmas tree project in your home.
Never too early to get ready for Christmas. What I did was I went to the dollar store and I grabbed one of these drawers that come with little designs on the front, but we don't need that for this project. These turn around just great and they go in just like that. And what we need to do is take some black paint and we're gonna paint the top and the sides with the foam brush. So what you want to do is you can label all of these out. Now you can only guess, we're going to actually use 24 to 25 of these boxes because this is going to make a wonderful countdown. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set this aside, and I've already got one painted. This one actually took 2 coats on it, and this is what it's going to look like, and it looks really good. While we're letting the box dry, what you're gonna do is go ahead and grab some scrapbook paper, and this can be any design you want. We went ahead and went with this Christmassy grid pattern right here. And what we're gonna do is cut out a square that's gonna match the front of your box like that. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and take some Mod Podge, and you're gonna coat the back right here. Just go ahead, put it all over, just like that. Doesn't take much. And then you're gonna square it up nice. Right there. Put that on there. And then go ahead and take some more and you're just gonna cover the front, just like that. Now, if you've ever used this, you're gonna know that it dries really nice and clear. And when you're done, what this is gonna look like is this right here. So the last thing we need to do is take one of these little drawer pulls that we got. You can get these at any little hobby store, just like that. I went ahead and painted one red, and what it does is it goes right there on the front. We'll just take a little bit of glue right there on the front and just push that down on there, like so, and that'll set up right away. And then when you're done, you're gonna have yourself a box just like this. Now, When we come back, we'll go ahead and show you the final project. And here we are, the final project. An advent calendar, 24 days till Christmas.
You won't believe what I made out of a cardboard box. I cut up my latest Amazon box to create a symmetrical design with 2 triangles or peaks the same size, each separated by a rectangular piece. I cut out window and door shapes and found it easiest to cut from the back side to create a clean finish. Then I outlined everything with a white acrylic paint marker and added a few extra embellishments. I assembled it into a house using hot glue, then measured and cut 2 roof pieces. Once glued on, I decorated the roof with white acrylic marker, placed some fairy lights inside, and I have the cutest gingerbread houses. These make great kid-friendly holiday decorations too. I hope this inspired you to create something cute out of your cardboard boxes.
My project, I took this piece of stained wood that I just had kicking around in my craft pile, and then I came in with the Deco Art Enchanted line of paints. So this black paint that I'm putting on here is the base coat. And then I came in with the Deco Art Enchanted in green. So this is the stunning iridescent top coat that we're going to paint on. And this is done with the gold. So in the same line, just a different color. Then I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to take these glass beads that I picked up at my local dollar store, and I'm going to begin making a Christmas tree shape. So I'm just going to line them up, starting with the larger row at the bottom and just working my way up the top. I'm placing them in spots here, and then I'm going to make sure I like the shape and everything before I glue them down. I found this cute little plastic snowflake in my Christmas craft collection, and that is what I'm going to use for my star. I'm just using regular hot glue to glue the glass beads down, and then making sure I pull away any hairs from the glue gun. And then I'm going to glue my plastic snowflake in the top as well with some hot glue. For the base of my tree, I have these little wood log slices, and they just come in a little pack from my dollar store. And I'm going to take a pair of kitchen shears and I'm just going to cut them right in half. And then I'm going to place them on the bottom, sticking up like a 3D effect, almost like a realistic looking tree stump. So this is what I'm using for the base. Once I have that glued down, I thought that the whole project needed just a little bit more embellishment, something just to really make it stand out a little bit more and jazz it up. So I came in with some Mod Podge and some gold foil, and I just did like a gold leafing foil technique just around the edges to create a nice, classy and elegant border. And this just kind of gives my project a little more glam, because I felt like it needed just a little something extra just to glam it up in time for Christmas. So I let that set, and then I brushed away the excess. Then to add just the icing on the cake, I came in with this shimmer. So this is from the Enchanted line as well from Deco Art, and this is just like a top coat that you could put on top of things just to give it that little shimmer and shine. So it's like clear, but then when it catches the light, you'll just see little tiny flecks of sparkle. So it's really nice because it's not quite a sparkle, it's just a shimmer. And these are my finished projects here. So you can see the one I did here with the green iridescent and then the gold as well. On the green iridescent, I decided to go with rose gold leafing instead of the gold. I just thought it complemented the green iridescent better. And I'm so happy with how this project turned out. I hope this inspires you to get creative this Christmas and craft something unique for your home. Thank you so much for watching Home Talk, and we'll see you next time.